In this video, I finally want to address the Lego price problem and why Lego is continuously pushing up their prices despite ever-growing complaints by the fans. Lego has already released several sets this year from all the different themes and franchises, and several of these include incredibly good and sought-after sets that were generally well received by the community. However, some of these sets, especially in some of the best-selling themes of Star Wars and Marvel, are incredibly overpriced, especially regarding some things in these sets being incredibly low quality compared to previous products. One of the more recent sets that have been revealed and talked about quite a lot in the last few weeks is the Avengers Endgame Final Battle. At first glance, as someone who isn't mainly into Lego Marvel sets, this one looked quite alright, including a handful of minifigures, a semi-alright looking build I suppose, and generally a somewhat decent set. However, after looking at minifigures, previously released sets, and the quality of this set, it becomes evident that this is quite a terrible set at a terrible price point of $100, for nothing really spectacular. There are several inaccuracies in this set in the minifigures, such as with Doctor Strange, and a lot of the minifigures are simply reused versions of these minifigures with nothing new, while others, such as Spider-Man, is a much poorer version of this character compared to the previous version of the Iron Spider released in 2018. The set acts as basically a playset and a display set, with half-hearted aspects of both styles, and this isn't a good thing at all. The only compliment I see people giving this otherwise poor and overpriced set is the few translucent orange rings, and these could be used for Doctor Strange mocks, and they just look fairly decent. Now looking at a theme that I am much more familiar with, I have to talk about Lego Star Wars. This is probably the best-selling Lego theme that has a massive community around it, with a majority of fans buying anything Lego puts out under this license, regardless of the contents in the set or the price. The first set that definitely needs to be mentioned is Ahsoka Tano's Jedi Interceptor. Now, I have said before that this is one of my favorite Lego Star Wars sets that released in quite a long time, and I think this build and the minifigures included are just excellent. I am a massive fan of any Jedi Interceptor and Starfighter, and this is definitely a standout version of this ship in Lego Star Wars, and I just really like it. However, Jedi Interceptors are famously some of the best affordable Lego Star Wars sets, in the past retailing from $25 to $30 in 2020. This year, however, Lego released it for $45, following after a $40 Jedi Starfighter in 2024. The price is simply absurd, and honestly, I don't think they should have charged anything more than $35 for this one, and there is little to no real reason that I can think about that justifies the cost of this one. In my opinion, Lego saw it as a quick cash grab, as people love Clone Wars sets, and Ahsoka is one of the most popular Star Wars characters right now. Whatever the price, the majority is bound to buy it. A similar case I want to talk about is with the ARC 170, also released in January of this year. Now, this one isn't as overpriced in my opinion, at $70, but still, something like $60 would have made more sense. The build once again is fairly decent, but this time many argue that the older 2010 version is much better, and that this downscaled set just isn't that great. Additionally, there are several prints on stickers that don't align with the white colors of the set, and this is an ongoing thing in Lego Star Wars, where the box and promotional material shows something else, and in reality some colors are simply off. In this case, it doesn't bother me that much though, but in previous cases, especially on minifigures, it really is something worth noting that is a very big quality issue. Now, a recent movement from Lego's side that really got me wanting to make this video is how Lego increased the prices of some Jurassic World sets, sets that already feel kind of overpriced. These are all from the new Jurassic World Rebirth movie, with some significant price increases making some of these way more overpriced than they should. Now, it is important to note that these are, as of now, only increased in the United States, and there could be some reasons beyond Lego's control as to why these prices are only increasing in this one country. Unless, of course, we see this price increase in other countries as well in the following weeks or months. And then another thing to note is that even though these Jurassic World sets seem very overpriced for what you get, it is understandable that the large dinosaur pieces cost a lot more than smaller pieces. And in many cases, it can justify the price of these sets quite a lot. On the screen right now is all the price increases on these selected Jurassic World sets, so they are important to note if you are planning to buy these sets once they release. Now, before moving on, if you enjoy any of these videos, consider subscribing, as it supports my channel so much. Now, after looking at some of these recent cases, I think it is definitely clear that the Lego price issue is there. Lego is a so to say premium toy and product demanding a premium price. And that is okay, as Lego is one of the best known and most trusted brands worldwide, and something so many people love and enjoy on a daily basis. There are sets from many sizes and price points, allowing almost anybody to enjoy some parts of the product, whether licensed or unlicensed. And despite the issue people have, Lego is seemingly getting more popular every single year. But of course, Lego is ultimately a business, and businesses will always have the main objective of increasing annual sales. And Lego does meet this goal, but often to ensure that this goal is reached every year, prices must be increased. So that said, the increase in price makes sense and is fair. However, a bigger problem is the decline in quality in some sets, especially some licensed themes. Lego is increasing prices, but quality decreases, so in a sense they begin to exploit the customer by selling an in-demand product at a rising price, but in a cheaper way, if that makes sense. And that is a real problem. A lot of people argue that we should see less sets each year and rather get high quality sets with high quality minifigures, with a more justified high price. But then again, with that in mind, Lego definitely won't make the profits they do right now, because, well, everyone keeps on buying despite the quality issues and the high prices. The more sets on the market, the more money Lego can make. We of course know that Lego is capable of doing really well with their minifigures and sets, but we do not see that level of quality in certain themes and areas of Lego sets, when we really should. But the unfortunate reality is that people continue buying these sets, even I do, despite the few problems. But when the day comes when you have to pay more than $50 for a Jedi Interceptor, things are going to be rough. But let me know what you think about the so to say Lego price problem in 2025, and whether you think any of it is justified in any way, or just a way for Lego to make more money by giving less. And do you think this price problem will continue in the future or even get way worse? Anyway, I will see you in the next video, and God bless you and cheers.